So today's video is gonna be an update about Mind Body Soul Shop and what's going on with that and why it is currently inactive and probably will be inactive for the foreseeable future. I don't think it's gonna be something I'm gonna be doing anymore. So got the right box this time. So what I'm gonna do today, I have had all of my herb supply kind of like stored away because obviously I haven't been selling via Mind Body Soul Shop in about a year now. And so I've just kind of like put everything away. I still use my blend, but it's lasted for so long and I don't use it like every single day. So I still have this like little pack of Dreamers blend that I use personally. And so yeah, so I'm just gonna look through the herbs that I have and like just kind of tell you why Mind Body Soul Shop is inactive at the moment and tell you a little bit about each herb. And yeah, that's pretty much sums up what I'm going to be talking about today. So basically, about a year ago, I received an email from the website that I was using to host my shop. It was Big Cartel, which is like a website you can use to sell your products on. And so you create like your own site and then you add your products and they do all the like work for you. Like they send, they accept the payment. So all you do is like put how much you want it to cost and blah, 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 and it includes shipping. And they take your card information, they take your address, and then they email you once you receive an order. So they like take a lot of the work off of you. So they do a lot of that kind of thing for you. And you do pay a subscription fee to them, which is like $10 a month or something. You can get the higher, like gold version if you have a big shop and you want to sell a lot more stuff. But I just had the very basic, I think you could sell like 10 items or something. And so, yeah, so anyways, a year ago, I received an email from Big Cartel saying that they can no longer host my shop on their site because it violated their community guidelines to sell anything that mimicked the effects of illegal drugs. So yeah, so basically they were saying that herbal blends that you can smoke or consume mimic the effects of illegal drugs, and therefore you are not allowed to sell them. And first of all, I had been selling on there for about like maybe like a year and a half, something. I don't really remember because it was like off and on, but I think it was about a year and a half. And so before then, I never had any issues. It was all cool. It was all good. And then once I received that email, so my shop was shut down basically, and I didn't understand because ultimately I've smoked a good deal of herbs and they don't mimic the effects of any illegal drug that I've ever consumed. Marijuana, no. Definitely not any other psychedelic type drug, no. And I've never taken like anything else, so I don't know what kind of drug they're referring to, that legal herbs, because these are all legal herbs you can grow in your yard or you can pick or you can buy from like legal sites. So I was kind of confused by that because they don't mimic. So anyone that's like looking for something that's gonna like give you the same high as marijuana or anything like that, it's not gonna do that. What I think, it more so mimics the feeling of like cigarettes. So my idea was to replace smoking nicotine and tobacco, that combination, which a lot of people that do smoke, that's what they smoke, which is very harmful to your lungs, very harmful for your body. So my whole idea was to create an alternative to smoking cigarettes, which kills thousands of people a year, and that it more so mimics the effects of cigarettes rather than the effects of illegal drugs. So yeah, I received that email and I was like, and my website was shut down. There was nothing I can really do about it. So they are all legal. It's all stuff you can grow. And so what I did today is pull out all the herbs that I have and have had, which I don't know if they lose their potency over time. I would think they've been like tightly sealed in these bags. So here's chamomile. Yeah, so there's chamomile. It's been tightly sealed in this bag since I stopped selling. The only thing that has happened, it's broken apart a lot. But other than that, let's smell it. Check it out. Chamomile. Yeah, it still smells pretty good. Now, right now at any grocery store, like any health food store, you can pretty much buy chamomile, whether in tea form or in the bulk section, or it's just a flower, and you can buy them anywhere. Yeah, so it does not mimic the effects of illegal drugs whatsoever, but I have pulled up right here some of the information on chamomile, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about that right now. It can be ingested as a tea, which is like the #1 way people consume it is chamomile tea. And a lot of people drink it when they're sick to help them feel better. It is used for calming purposes. It soothes your digestive tract. And it's mild enough to be administered to babies. That's how safe this stuff is. Like, mimic the effect of a legal drug. Come on, big cartel. Come on. So yeah, so that is it helps to soothe your skin. So it's been put in like lotions and stuff. So yeah, this is completely safe. Chamomile. So I have like half a bag of that. All right, let's go on to the next herb that I have. So I have a bunch of this white sage. Let me take it out. So typically what white sage, when you typically see this white sage, it's often used, that smells so good. That smells really good. It's usually used to create sage bundles. So when you see them like bundled together with string, and then you burn it and you kind of like sage your house to clean out any spirits or ward off any negative energies and stuff. So yeah, that's the tip. That's a usual use for it. So what I'm reading right now is saying that there's been an over harvesting of this plant, probably to create sage bundles, because it's kind of like a trend right now to use sage to cleanse your spaces. So I have this huge bag of it that I've had for like a year. So this is not recommended for internal use, so they don't recommend you consume this as a tea or anything like that. But yeah, to sage your space, and once again, does not mimic the effects of any illegal drugs. So yeah, that's white sage, and I have this huge bag of it. Alright, so I'm going to go into lavender, which is one of my favorite herbs. And so I have this little bag of it. I'm going to smell it, see if it's still potent since it's still super potent, like really good. That smells really good. Alright, lavender is most popular for its calming benefits. Relaxation. It's used in like baby lotion to help calm babies, and it's like one of the #1 essential oils sold. Let me read this. So this can be consumed. People add it to baked goods. People add it to ointments and lotions and all that kind of stuff. It's infused within sugar for its aroma. Like, people just love the way lavender smells, which I'm one of those people. It smells so good. And just relaxes you. So yeah, I would add it to the blends mainly in like every blend because of it relaxes the hell out of you. So yeah, and that's lavender. There's no known precautions, and it does not mimic the effect of illegal drugs. I know one thing that a lot of people do like to do with the smoke blends, or with just lavender specifically, is add lavender to your joint, like your weed joint, and it helps, it like makes the flavor better, makes your weed last longer because you're not using only weed, you're kind of mixing it, and it adds a different effect to it, like a more relaxing effect. So it does not mimic the effects of legal drugs. I just want to keep reinstating that, because I was really angry when I received that, because I know that's not true. Alright, so the next herb I'm going to talk about is skullcap, and I liked to put skullcap in a lot of blends as well, because it is also, skullcap is known as a comforting herb. So in times of distress, it creates a sense of like overall well-being whenever you consume it as like a tea, or put in a tincture, or smoked, you know. Also does not mimic the effects of illegal drugs, just like helps calm, just like CBD oil's legal right now and everyone's selling it. That's kind of what it does, helps with like anxiety and relaxation, which a lot of these herbs do. That stuff that like a lot of over-the-counter prescriptions or prescription drugs claim to do, but legal natural stuff can do naturally. So yeah, that's skullcap. I also have a lot of lemongrass, which lemongrass was not my favorite herb to smoke because it does smell really good, but it's very grassy, if you can see. It's not so like fluffy and nice to smoke. It's very harsh, and although it does have a nice flavor, especially in tea, like to smoke, it just wasn't my favorite. But can go over the typical uses. People love the aroma. People like use it for cooking a lot, like put in, I made lemongrass chicken before, and that was really good, so as like a flavoring. No known precautions. Once again, it's completely safe, does not mimic the effects of illegal drugs. Yeah, people have used it thousands of years as a culinary and like beneficiary herb. So next, what do I have here? Mullein. Let's talk about mullein. This was like the #1 herb I used. I went through a lot of this because it was like the base for a lot of my smoke blends, because it was very fluffy and like light. This, as well as mullein, as well as the Damiana, were like the two that I used the most. But like, look, it's just like a little pillow. It's so fluffy. I use this in the Dreamers blend. Okay, so it was used a lot to help with like respiratory issues, so like breathing, to help you breathe better. There are some precautions, however, on mullein, and the precautions were that the little small hairs on mullein can cause irritation in your mouth and stuff when not filtered. So it says to clean them prior to consumption, but other than that, this one does say to consult your doctor if you're like breastfeeding or anything like that, so make sure to do that if you do consume this one. But I loved this one as a base, and for the way it smokes so smooth, and as an alternative to a cigarette, it was beautiful. And so I think I'm just going to talk about one more. So Damiana was the #1 herb that I used in my first ever blend, which was the Zen blend, and it says that it's used in herbal smoking blends, and you can encapsulate it and you can make it into a tea. You can do like millions of things with Damiana, and they're even often infused with alcohol to make like alcoholic beverages. But it's a lot to be smoked for its soothing, calming, all that. Same thing as like a lot of the other herbs. And It's kind of known as like the feminine herb because it helped a lot with like menstrual cramps and like stuff like that, like feminine issues. And so it's used for a lot of things, and people still use it today, as well as like past and indigenous populations, and I'm sure it's still widely used today. Also, reinforcing this again, does not mimic the effects of illegal drugs. Yeah, I created the blends to be a replacement for smoking cigarettes, a healthy alternative, not to mimic the effects of marijuana. Like, a lot of people love to mix blends with marijuana to get like an intensified effect, but smoking an herbal blend alone will not give you any kind of effect the same or equal to an illegal drug. So keep that in mind. So right now you cannot go to my website or my Facebook page or anything and purchase anything because nothing's available because my site was shut down by Big Cartel, and I never really had the courage to start it back up because I was worried about the kind of legal drawbacks with that, because I don't know, they can claim that it does mimic the effects of illegal drugs. So if you are interested in a herbal blend, strictly for me, I would just say herbal blend, and what you choose to do with that is your choice. They're not smoke blends, they're not for smoking. Whatever you choose to do with them is your choice, but it's a blend of herbs, natural herbs that you can make into a tea or cook with or bathe with or whatever you choose to do with it. And so if you are interested, just send me a message on the Mind Body Soul Shop Instagram page, and we can work out something. I don't know. I'm kind of like, don't know what to do at this point, but I really still love the idea of an healthy alternative to cigarettes, and I know there's more out there, so I'm sure you can find some. But if you are interested specifically in mine, if you bought some in the past and you're interested in repurchasing, I'd love to hear from you. So I'm going to link my email address below, as well as the Mind Body Soul Shop Instagram page, and you can reach me one of those two places and we'll talk. Alright, well, thank you so much for watching, and hope you enjoyed this update and learning about some more herbs. See you next time.